The summary of The Power of Intuition, brought to you by Click-Through College. Introduction. The introduction kicks off with the premise that intuition, or gut feelings, is an integral part of decision-making, but it's an aspect often neglected in professional settings. The author, however, contends that the power of intuition is something we can tap into, master, and leverage to enhance our work experience and professional outcomes. Chapter 1: The Nature of Intuition. The first chapter establishes the foundations of understanding intuition. Here, the author strips away the mystique surrounding intuition, presenting it not as some magical or supernatural power, but as an integral aspect of our cognitive abilities. He posits that intuition is a product of our brain's ability to process information at a subconscious level, often culminating in insights that seem to appear out of the blue. He describes intuition as largely relying on experiential learning, our brain drawing from the reservoir of our past experiences to make quick judgments. He also addresses various theories that attempt to explain the biological and psychological underpinnings of intuition. The chapter concludes by reassuring readers that intuition is a natural cognitive process, and like other mental faculties, it can be honed with conscious effort and practice. Chapter 2: How we use, or fail to use, our intuition. Chapter 2 delves into the practical side of intuition. The author brings the concept to life with real-world examples, demonstrating situations where professionals either effectively utilized their intuition for beneficial outcomes, or failed to do so, leading to undesirable results. He narrates the story of a firefighter commander whose intuition, honed by years of experience, led him to make a life-saving decision to order his crew out of a burning building moments before its collapse. There's also the case of a company that ignored intuitive warnings about a product launch, resulting in financial losses. Through these contrasting cases, the author highlights the power of intuition as well as the potential consequences of ignoring it. Chapter 3: Rational Thinking versus Intuition. In the third chapter, the author navigates the often complex relationship between rational thinking and intuition. He challenges the popular notion that the two are opposing forces, arguing instead that they are complementary aspects of our cognition. He asserts that while rational thinking is crucial for problems requiring in-depth analysis and systematic thought, intuition often acts as a mental shortcut, enabling rapid decisions in situations of pressure or ambiguity. To solidify his argument, the author cites several scientific studies that illuminate how the brain employs both rational and intuitive systems, depending on the context and demands of the situation. This chapter underscores the idea that effective decision-making isn't about choosing between intuition and rationality, but about skillfully integrating both. Chapter 4: Harnessing the Power of Intuition. Chapter 4 delves deep into the practical ways of fine-tuning one's intuition. It equips readers with various tools and exercises designed to help increase awareness of intuitive signals. The author likens intuition to a muscle, which can be strengthened through regular and deliberate practice. He introduces mindfulness techniques to heighten awareness of both mental and physical responses, as intuition often manifests as bodily sensations or sudden thoughts. Moreover, he advises readers to keep an intuition journal, noting instances when they felt a strong intuitive hit, what it felt like, and how it played out. This practice, he suggests, helps to validate intuitive insights and increases reliance on them over time. The chapter also addresses a crucial aspect of intuition: the potential for misinterpretation. The author explains how cognitive biases and emotional desires can cloud our intuition. He offers techniques to distinguish genuine intuitive thoughts from those influenced by bias or wishful thinking. Chapter 5: Intuition in the Workplace. In the fifth chapter, the author explores the role of intuition in a professional context. He shares anecdotes from various industries where intuitive insights have led to game-changing decisions and innovative breakthroughs. One compelling example is Steve Jobs' intuitive decision to develop the first iPhone, against the grain of conventional market research. The author also discusses how intuition can be a powerful tool in crisis management. He presents a case of a CEO who, guided by her gut feelings, pivoted her company's strategy during an economic downturn, thus saving the company from potential bankruptcy. He further suggests that, in the age of information overload, intuitive insights can help make sense of complex data, enabling quicker and more effective decisions. The key, the author proposes, is to find a balance between relying on data and trusting one's gut feelings. Chapter 6: Cultivating an Intuitive Business Culture. Chapter 6 outlines how leaders and managers can cultivate an intuitive culture within their organizations. The author emphasizes that intuition is not just a personal tool but a collective resource that can lead to more innovative and resilient businesses. He proposes tactics such as creating a safe and open environment where employees feel comfortable sharing their intuitive insights and hunches. He also stresses the importance of diversity of thought, suggesting that different perspectives can stimulate intuitive breakthroughs. Another key strategy discussed is the integration of intuition training in professional development programs. By teaching employees how to tap into and trust their intuitive abilities, organizations can foster a more creative, agile, and dynamic workforce. The author concludes the chapter by arguing that an intuitive business culture not only helps in decision-making but also contributes to employee satisfaction and retention. By recognizing and valuing intuition, businesses can unlock a deeper level of insight, creativity, and innovation among their teams. Chapter 7: Overcoming Obstacles to Intuitive Decision-Making. In Chapter 7, the author addresses common barriers that inhibit the use of intuition in decision-making. These obstacles can range from fear of being perceived as irrational to an over-reliance on data or discomfort with uncertainty. The author first explores the psychological barriers to intuition, emphasizing how societal norms and expectations can cause us to discount our gut feelings. He provides tools and strategies to combat these inhibitors, encouraging readers to become more comfortable with uncertainty and trust their own experiences. He also delves into the issue of data dependence, highlighting how an overemphasis on data can potentially drown out our intuitive insights. While he acknowledges the value of data, he recommends using it as a complementary tool to our intuition, not a substitute. The author ends this chapter by suggesting ways to create a more intuitive-friendly environment, such as fostering psychological safety within teams and promoting openness to intuitive ideas and inputs. Chapter 8: Intuition and Ethics. Chapter 8 explores the intersection of intuition and ethics. The author argues that our gut feelings often serve as a moral compass, guiding us towards what feels right and fair. He presents several case studies where intuition played a critical role in ethical decision-making, especially in gray areas where rules and regulations didn't provide a clear direction. The chapter also discusses the dangers of relying solely on intuition in ethical matters, warning against the potential influence of personal biases. He recommends combining intuitive judgment with rational analysis and external viewpoints to ensure a more balanced, ethical decision. The chapter concludes with practical tips for using intuition in ethical decision-making, such as taking time for reflection, seeking diverse perspectives, and being aware of potential biases. Chapter 9: The Future of Intuition in an AI-Dominant World. In the final chapter, the author ponders the role of intuition in a future dominated by artificial intelligence, AI. Despite advances in technology, he asserts that human intuition holds a unique value that AI can't replicate. Intuition's ability to grasp the broader context, synthesize complex emotions, and perceive subtle social nuances gives it a distinctive edge. The author envisions a future where AI and human intuition work in harmony. AI, with its capability to process vast amounts of data, can provide the groundwork for decision-making. However, the final judgment, particularly in decisions involving complex human interactions, ethical considerations, or creative ideation, would rely on human intuition. The book ends with an encouraging vision of a world that values data and technology but also recognizes and harnesses the irreplaceable power of human intuition. The summary of The Power of Intuition.